Hi and good afternoon. We are on Sounds Central Update and we are talking with Rayford Tembo, apparently our General Secretary for the upcoming youth political platform. Hi, Raymond. Rayford.
Yes, comrade. Thank you so very much for having me and good afternoon.
What's the name of the political forum that is being set up?
The political forum that is currently being set up, should I say maybe we should withhold it? I don't know, you can advise, but it's EIP.
Okay,
It's
okay,
EIP.
okay.
Yes. I think that
VIP. Okay, we'll
EIP,
leave it at the abbreviation. It's not a problem.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Go on.
So, what I just wanted to briefly discuss is the issue of the current news that is happening at the moment. We've been having a lot of news about abductions, about deaths, about different news on the media that is not currently good. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, what are your views on the subject matter?
Uh, I think to start with, there's one thing that we can drive from whatever is happening. I think
Mhm.
now Zambians we have really switched to digital. We have really banked on social media. So I think one thing that we should take from there is that now in Zambia, news travels faster than it used to travel a long time ago. I can cite an example like what transpired with the abductions. I think before the police could know that the girls were rescued, I would safely say the world was already ahead of the police, because by the time the police were actually going to the scene, uh, uh, the people that were there had already shared news. So I think on that note, we are really progressing. We have currently we are moving with the world as far as dissemination of information is concerned. But going back to your question, I think it is disheartening to see to look at the current social media, the things that are happening with regards to our nation, the abduction, of course, as well as many other issues that are happening, the harassed and the, I would say maybe harassment of political players. So I would say we really we are not. Uh, it's disheartening to see what is transpiring as of now.
Uh, so this is pretty much the government is talking about, like governments all across the world, specifically Zimbabwe and South Africa, are saying that our economy is really improving. In other words, things are improving. A lot of the Zambians are even thinking, people who are in diaspora are thinking that maybe they should go back and let's say prices of things have developed and there's a bigger chance of us being able to improve our lives being at home. So, what are you saying in comparison to what we were talking about as far as the news that is coming out and the auspices that the economy is growing? What's really the right news? What's true? What's the honest truth at this point?
And what is true, I would say, is currently hard to say. But let me just quickly bring you to speed with the economic status as it stands right now. I think there is so much that the world is looking at. I was just listening to one podcast on an international media where they were saying the president that we have, President HH, is rocking the world. And true to say, I think he's rocking the world. He has set the country on a right trajectory as far as the economy is concerned. I want to admit, Dr. Ans, that tough times call for tough actions, and they say it also calls for unique solutions. One aspect of leadership is actually creating a solution. As it stands right now, 12 months down the line, I think we have seen some deliberate efforts in putting or in finding solutions as far as the economic status of our country is concerned. We saw, of course, we went to bow to the IMF, and just a few weeks ago, we saw the eighth national development plan coming forth. And just last week, we saw the budget for 2023. And I think from there, there's so much hope as far as our country is concerned. We have seen the appreciation of the kwacha. So far, the kwacha is doing very good. Currently standing roughly about 17 kwacha to a dollar, which is, I think, good, especially that a few months ago it was almost 20. It was almost 20 to 25 kwacha. So with that said, coupled with the reduction in the inflation, I would simply say we are doing fine as far as paperwork is concerned. But when we come to the the majority of Zambians, the majority of lay people, we regard the performance of the economy depending on the cost of living. If all of these numbers add up, to us they don't make sense. What makes sense is how much am I spending at lunchtime, how much am I spending for my food basket. That's what the economic status of our homes is. And with regards to that, I would safely say, Doc, that we have not seen much improvement, because I'm still buying a bag of minimum at 150 kwacha, and buying a bag of minimum at 150 kwacha for a family of maybe 5 people, I expect maybe to spend 300 to 450, 3 bags of minimum for me to finish a month. So, with regard to the cost of living, I'd say we are still not doing fine. We have not seen the benefit of the IMF. We have not seen the benefit of the low inflation. We have not seen the benefits of the appreciation of the kwacha. So, I would safely say economically, I think it's still not a good place for you to come back. We still need more efforts. The government still needs to pump in some effort in order for us to say now we are in safe hands.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rayford Tembo. The only confusing part is the fact that, as far as the news is concerned, most people are congratulating our president to have done it, done something that no other president has managed to do. So when we say he has managed, according to what you're saying, cost of living hasn't really improved. So what is it that he has marginalized? What is it that is? What are the rest of the world seeing exactly? What specifically are they looking at that is really?
Comrade Anskia, the problem that we have all world over is that real life and paperwork, they are contradictory and conflicting to each other. I'll give you an example. When the New Dawn government came into power, the first thing that they brought to our attention was the introduction or the increase of the Constituency Development Fund. That's the CDF. But when you look at the increment, it was so huge that everyone congratulated the President Hakainde Hichilema and his team to say this is job well done. And all of us we are optimistic to say that now this is the decentralization that we are looking for. Now we are going to see our communities developing based on the CDF, even without understanding the whole component of the CDF. But 12 months down the line, Doc, it is sad to say people up to now have not accessed the CDF, the much talked about CDF. As of last month, constituencies had only received 5 million of the almost 25 million US dollar. So paperwork, yes, we can say we are doing it, but when we come to real life, when we come to something tangible that we can touch, something that we can see, and point at, we are still far away. And I think we must encourage the New Dawn government to say they should just come out on the open and say the things the way they are, because others are just admiring maybe the IMF package, like when we talk of Zimbabwe, maybe they can say no, because President Hakainde Hichilema has IMF bailout package and BCB. But these things we have not started, we have not started realizing any profits or any pronouncements that have been made.
Okay. That's very good information, and I think you are right on point by saying it's very important for the government to come out right and say these are the steps that are being taken, and this is where we are still trying to develop either policies or inroads in or strategic inroads in order for us to actually change the landscape in Zambia. Now, as a new political party, any new political party that would be out there, what exactly do you think should be their strategy? Let's say if we had the elections right now, what is it that they'll be offering? Because obviously, the story of saying we want to bring change, we want to bring more jobs and different things is a story of old. But what is it do you think would be the best thing to offer at this juncture?
Comrades, let me be quick to mention that uh, as a political party, I think our primary focus should not be the election to start with. So it is very important and uh, very imperative that we should have political opponents everywhere. The reason is very simple, comrade. The reason why we need these political parties to be there, it's because we need government to have an opponent. You know, in life, the way God has created us naturally, people, people we are focused to opposition. We always want to impress the opposition, and in the process, we end up making ourselves perfect, ourselves better, and even maybe successful. So to start with, the new political parties or political parties that are there should not focus on the elections, but focus on improving our country by, of course, giving checks and balances to the new government. And then, with regards to your question, let me also be quick to mention to say the role of any leader is um, to give solutions. The role of any leader in any movement or whatever, it's to give solutions. I think we do not want a leader who would just come and tell us to say this is the problem that we have, and then sit quietly and forget about it. We want to have a leader who's going to offer solutions to the problems that we are facing. So, like what we need right now, we need opposition leaders that will add value to the economy of Zambia. Like, for example, we are complaining to say the new Don government has failed. Like, we are speaking right now, IMF has come out, Dr. Hans, and one of the conditions that it has brought forth is that government should visit its spending, should visit the way it is spending money, and we are expecting government to get a lot of tax cuts. Like, for example, right now we have been told to say the subsidy, which we have not already been benefiting from, the subsidy from fuel, because right now fuel is still expensive here in Zambia. Fuel is still expensive. Of course, I don't want to compare it with other countries because you cannot compare a lemon and an orange. Let's compare Zambia and maybe 2 years ago, the price was slightly maybe 15 kwacha a liter, of 10 to 15 kwacha a liter. But right now we are buying fuel at more than 20 kwacha. So looking at that, we are not benefiting from the subsidy, which we didn't even know that it's there because we were benefiting. Now that IMF is saying they should remove subsidy from the fuel, then oh my God, how is life going to be here in Zambia? It's tough where it is right now. If there is no subsidy, then we are going. So, as an opposition political party, what are you bringing? What are you advising the government of the Republic of Zambia? Should they proceed? Should they proceed and remove these taxes? If they do, if they do, to the ordinance. Of course, we told the government when they were going to the IMF to say the country in this world which has gone to IMF and come back smiling. All countries that go to the IMF, they come back bruised. You can give me any country, a doc that has gone to the IMF. There is no country in this world that has gone to the IMF without bruising its citizens. And we told our government before they went there. We told them, even as ordinary, just as a new political parties which is coming, we told them, say, you go to the IMF, it's going to you are just going to bruise your own citizens. We advise the government to say, can you just look around circles. What can you do in order for you to do away with these credits that you are saying we are in the country? They did not listen. So now, as a political party, what are we going to do in order to help the government? So this is where we are saying it's on the issue, but let us focus better in the of the Zambians. I think election comes maybe in 5 years, but the best if we allow the government to proceed in this trajectory, then we'll have no country to govern. When we get into office as well, we'll be talking about the same issues to say, no, let's go back and get the IMF. So we should help the new government now to better the lives of the Zambians. We should help the new government now to put in place policies that are going to benefit the nation. Because even if we come, we find a better run government which will I think it will be easy for us to even perform because the government would have already done something. So let's not focus on the elections, but let us focus on the benefit. 5 years is too long to allow any government to just run the country like that.
Thank you, Mr. Tembo. Comrade, the main other concern, obviously, is the fact that in the 5 years, obviously the 5 years we are looking at already in the first year or two, we believe that the government itself is prospering or doing well on its own, regardless of the fact that the citizens are not yet seeing where they fit in. When it comes to the international relationships and all the different countries that are now aligned to Zambia and investors, people are investing, people are buying uh, property, they're buying different types of investments in the country, whilst at the same time, I just heard that there's some very big Zambian business entities that have been shut down due to the ongoing anti-corruption cleanup.
Yes.
I don't believe that every company uh, is corrupt, and I don't believe every successful businessman is using money from proceeds of crime. Um, yeah, so what would you say? We just want to take this as our last point for today, but please, if you could just give me your view on that aspect.
Doc, it's very unfortunate. I must mention it is very, very unfortunate with what is happening to local industries. I must mention that I do not condone corruption and I do not support any illegality with regards to the development of any nation because I know that there's nothing good that can come from the legalities because always whatever goes around comes back around. But now, looking at what has happened to some of the companies, of course they are under investigation and under the course of law. So let's be skeptical with the comments that I want to make. I must mention that it is very unfortunate whenever what happens to the post newspaper. When the post newspaper went, it didn't just go spread, but when the post newspaper went, it went with so many employees. It suffered. And when you look at Savannah, I was just looking at what the media houses are giving out. They are over 800 employees. And behind 800 employees, they are families. My argument is, why is it that we always want to avenge when we do? Why is it that we always want to make sure we stamp our presence and just share everything with our sympathizers? Because look at what has happened to Finley. Of course, Finley has done so many issues. I'm not going to look at the other issues. But one thing that's coming out is that Finley right now is being persecuted or is about to lose it. But when you look at the property that they are saying it is a proceed of crime, this one I simply say this property belongs to the Finley and it was for somewhere in the 1970s. So how now does it become a right just because Finley maybe is some individuals. This legacy of it is not safe in the 21st century because it is just degrading, relating our economy. It's like we are building somewhere and then we are destroying somewhere, which is very so it's really something that that giving goosebumps. It's something that is very because why is it that in Africa we always want to be down? Is there nothing that can be done? I can give an example. What we saw with Faith Sonda. I think it was announced that Faith Sonda at some point had to crack a deal behind closed doors with law enforcement officers. Why is it that we couldn't see the same when it came to Findlay? Why is it that we couldn't see the same when it came to Savenda? Why can't boardroom meeting help in such a situation? Why can't sanctions be made without tampering with the whole institution? Why is it that you being a director of any entity makes you, Doc, when someone, a young person like me, wants to venture into politics, why is it that I always have to look on my shoulders to make sure that I leave all my tracks covered, to make sure that I disown everything that I own? Is it the way that we are going to live as a nation? I think that's where the problem is, because there is always vengeance in our politics. We always want to make sure that we stamp our feet and show people that I am the boss. But in the end, there are numbers and there are families behind those numbers. That's my take on that one, comrade.
Thank you so much, comrade. I think you have really brought resolution, and it's sad that we have to actually. We honor all the leaders, and we do not speak ill of any leader. Whether we respect the position of the president and everyone. But as the constitutional right, we have the right to be able to speak our views and give our opinions on whether we are happy or not. And
Exactly.
I think we believe we need to ask the question: is this dictatorship or is this development? Join us again next time on. Go
Just on
ahead.
that one, before we even go, comrade, I think I also want to also just remind us to say, some of these things that happen within the political circles, most of it, the president doesn't even have the hand.
Mm,
We need to understand that these officers that we are dealing, they're human beings, just like all of us. We are human beings. And one of us being human beings, there's that human nature concept in us where we want to please the finger that is feeding us. And in the process of pleasing the finger that is feeding us, we end up injuring so many people and so many lives. So I want to appeal especially to the appointment of our President Bali, our father. And we are proud, especially as the young people, we are very proud to call Bali our father because of the so many promises that he promised us during the campaigns. There's so many promises that we haven't seen them fruits. Like, for example, we can talk of freedom. I am left now to say my child will be able to access credit. Because right now it's got its own challenges, but we are safe to say Bali has a plan for the Zambians and Bali is going to make things right. But I want to remind our people to say, to also, I think, remember how he used to be when he was in opposition. I don't know where he was driving his wisdom from. I don't know if he was driving it to his circles. I want him to go back to the same circle and drive wisdom again. This time that is, I need more counsel before, because the challenges that are ahead are just so much. So I want to remind them to say, we miss the old Bali, the Bali that we had in opposition. We don't know what has happened now, but I just want to remind him to say he should check his circles. If he's made any adjustments, I think it would be safe for him to go back. I'm not debating or what, but I'm just saying we have seen changes and we want to believe that there are some things that have happened, but we are feeling that if we are going to see a better nation, all of us, those that belong to the ruling party and those that belong to the opposition party, right now are interested in Zambia. So, Mr. President, sir, I think check your circles, sir, and if I continue leading us the way you used to lead us during the time that you were in the opposition. Because these people that would want to please you, others in the process of pleasing you without knowing, of course, they are going to injure. So like in the end, we have no nation to govern. I submit my leader.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rayford Tembo. We will be delegating and finding some more people to join us on our next insert next week. So thank you so much for joining us, and we hope we can continue this discussion and just find more and more resolution and find like minds that can at least help the government realign its thoughts and contributions to the future of the nation. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you so very much for